Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the latest ship launched into Star Trek Fleet Command in August of 2025, the Serene Squall. We're going to be talking about what it does, how you harvest that new material of epic transigen, how you then refine it, some refinery changes that have come in thanks to the Serene Squall, how it's going to benefit you, and how ultimately whether I think you should buy this ship is going to be part of the video today. I'm going to give you some hints, some tips, some crewing advice, bits and pieces about the Squall, but let's dive in and let's take a look. Okay, so the Serene Squall. Serene Squall launched, like I say, August 2025. This is a G3 epic mining ship. It is a combat miner. It's got two main purposes. Those two main purposes are to mine the new epic transigen and also to kill the new hostiles that are in the epic transigen space, and we'll talk about some hints and tips around how to work all that as we go through this video. Quick breakdown, obviously it is 18 tiers, which obviously is decent, so it scales all the way through from G3 all the way through to G6. We'll pull up some charts that show you where some of the locks are for each generation. We'll do that with all the charts later. But let's just talk about the abilities for it. So this has an automated defenses ability. That automated defenses ability is something that you are going to need. And we'll show you that when we go into the system, and we'll show you the impact of what that actually does. You can also unlock field repairs for this, which are currently paid only. Field repairs just basically giving you the ability to, whilst you're out in space, repair 25% of your ship's hull. That is a paid unlock. And there is also a skin for this ship as well, and the skin, I'll be honest with you, looks absolutely sublime. It looks really, really good. I mean, I'm tempted to get it just because of the fact that it looks a lot better. I think it looks really, really good. Let's take a quick look at the skin, and this is that skin. So this is the skin for the Serene Squall. This is the Orion skin, and it's offering you a couple of benefits. So it's boosting strongbox, which I will show you in a second. It's giving that transigen payouts an increase by 30%, increasing your protected cargo, which is, the protected cargo on this is actually really, really good, and also giving you 50% base hazard resistance for the Serene Squall as well. So a decent looking skin. Really, really like the look of it. I prefer the look of this to the actual ship itself, but it's whether that's worth actually purchasing. Hopefully there'll be a free-to-play path for this at some point in the future, but that's what the skin does and what the automated defenses do, we're going to take a look at now. So the way for us to look at this, if we take a quick look into a system, if I just pop it out into space, oh, there's a random person in my system. Interesting. But if you go to activate it, you can see what your automated defenses actually do. So when you activate your automated defenses, if attacked by the Suliban hostiles, so the Suliban hostiles are the ones that were launched last month, so in July. It's everything in transigen space. All of the hostiles in transigen space have this tag, the Suli tag, and it gives you 150,000% base damage increase, 5,000% shield repair, 4,000 apex barrier, which is basically giving you, in essence, another 40% hull health. It's big, and 4,000% isolytic mitigation increase, which I'm assuming meaning isolytic defense. Probably needs to be worded slightly different, but ISO defense. So really, really impactful. It also gives you a couple of boosts here against players, so making it a bit of a protectionist and going into the combat mining philosophy behind the ship. So it's giving you a 250,000% base damage increase against players and a 400,000 apex barrier, making your hull last miles longer. So you've also got a research that increased the ship's crit chance from 20% up to 88% when it is active, and I'll show you that in a second. The ability has a 10-second cooldown, and the duration is 2 hours once you get it to tier 18. So I'll show you what the cooldown is now at tier 1, but you can see it goes all the way up to 2 hours when you actually max the ship for how long that your automated defenses last. And the 10-second cooldown is nice. That cooldown will also instantly reset if the ship is blown up or if you return to base. So it is a decent ship, and it's got some decent abilities. But I want to talk about what you actually do with it. So I'm going to fly this out to the systems, and when you take a look at the systems, obviously all the transigen systems that were launched last month, which are up here in this red area, there is now a brand new set of systems to the bottom. So all the older systems, we had exactly the same format as last month. So we've got all the G3 ones, and then down here you've got G3 Epic. Then you go over to G4, you've got all the G4 systems up here, and then these are the G4 Epic at the bottom. Exactly the same for G5, and then the same across here for G6. So the old G6 space where I've been playing for the last month, down at the bottom here you can see we've got the 62 through to 70 systems, and these lower systems are the Epic Transigen systems. As you progress through the generations, you will find that within here that your mining speed actually increases. So the base node speed increases as you jump up through generations. I think what would be good for us to look at now here is just to take a quick look at the chart put together by the wonderful Jules Van Quazel, Blue Mandalorian, and everybody else that contributes to them. Thank you so much. Let's pull up the chart and let's take a quick look at these systems and how they work. And here is the chart. So again, just to preface, all these charts are available obviously on the Officer Tool Discord. Link to that is in the description of the video. It's the best place. It's the only place where Jules Verne keeps everything 100% up to date in a catalogued environment. So make sure that you join the Discord so if you want to get access to this chart. So we're going to have to take a quick look through a couple of tabs on this just to understand how this works. So these are all of the new systems. You can see they start at level 31 and warp 26 all the way up to 70 as I've shown you, and warp 1700. Now this is a key thing. 5,000% hazards. Okay, this is in essence a level 50 hazard. It's huge. No other ship can survive in this system at all for a very long period of time. That was going to become key when I go through some hints and tips for early owners of the Serene Squall. I'll go through a couple of tips of them in a second. Obviously, we've got that they are all epic mines, and as I was mentioning, as you move up through different generations, so you can see the G3 speeds are 3, 5 for G4, and then 6 through to 10 for G5, and then 10 through to 15 for the G6 systems. So these are the base node speed. Now obviously this is accelerated hugely if we jump back into game and take a quick look at the Squall. This is massively impacted by this ability of the Squall, which goes up every single tier of the ship. So I've currently got a 1.53 million% boost to that number. So it's quite significant. And obviously that times is by your mining laser and all the other bits and pieces in there as well to make it better. But what that also means is that mining speed crews are useless. Let's say you put a max Borg tribble on there and you get an extra 120%. That is not going to times this by 120%. It's going to take 1.53 million% and make it 1.53 and 120%. It's nothing. It changes. It bleeds into the noise. So mining speed crews for these are absolutely useless when we're talking about the epic Transigen. Don't even bother. It's just not. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it all. We dive back into the chart. Let's go into the Serene Squall tab. So the Serene Squall tab itself is showing you, and this is where you can see the locks for the ship. So from Ops 30, you can take it all the way up to Tier 4. You then need to be Ops 40 to take it from 5 up to Tier 9. Ops 51, it's generational. So G3, G4, G5, and G6. So you cannot max the ship until you're in G6, but obviously there are locks on the way where you're going to be able to get the unlock keys, which I'm assuming is going to be on the warp component to be able to get those, but there they are for you. What you're going to actually get from them is included in here, and how much you need to mine is included in here. Now this is the good thing. The amount that you need to mine is based on the tier of the ship. It's not based on ops. How high you can take it is based on ops, but what you need to mine is based on the ship, which is brilliant. It means that a G6 player like myself with a Tier 1 Serene Squall can still participate in the refinery. We don't need to be getting it up to Tier 15 in order to be able to participate at any sort of regularity, which is nice. So you're going to be able to go in, you're going to do your refines, look at the one chest options. The two chest options are pretty big. I am going to show you a trick where I think that you're probably going to be able to maintain double chests. You are probably going to be able to do that. I will show you how that works in a second. But single chest should be your absolute minimum. They should be your goal. Think of the two chest option as a chest pull. Your manipulator exchange, very similar to last month. This is the hostiles, and these are again revenge hostiles. So you're auto grinding, so you're not having to go out and manually grind out these hostiles. They are going to sit and attack you. Okay, and I found that I think you should be able to double pull these chests. One run on this last night when I tested it, I was able to double pull the chest from what I got from one run in the lower end systems. Okay, so I think double chests are going to be a lot more reasonable on the actual hostiles. But if you can only pull one, do not see that as backwards. Okay, single chest pulls are sufficient, and you can see how much of the refined epic transigen that you're getting from both sides of the loop. So at tier 1 here, if you single chest pull both of them, you're going to be getting 14 of the epic transigen. Plus, you're also going to be getting from the manipulator exchange some speed ups if you're below G6, you're going to be getting some Sigma speed ups if you are G6 and above. One of the key parts to this is the strongbox. Okay, now the strongbox is part of the refinery. So if we're going to the refinery, we can take a quick look at this now. And if we go into the transigen section, now one thing that I will throw on the screen now is there is a free-to-play path for this ship launched on day 1. Okay, and this is what the bundle looks like. So these are your costs, which are costing the uncommon transigen for you to be able to pull these, and you're going to be able to get that in around 100 days if you've got no other sourcing at all. Okay, 100 days, pretty standard, but I will tell you that there are going to be other methods of sourcing this ship, okay, which is going to allow you to be able to speed that progress up if you want to. Okay, so there is a free-to-play source, which is good, and that starts on day 1. I like that. Once you unlock the ship, you're then going to get one of these claims, so tier 1 claims. So tier 1, there are 4 different bundles of these. So you get one at tier 1, and you get 5 pulls of this chest. Once you just physically unlock the ship, each day, 22-hour cooldown, you're going to be able to come in here and claim this, and you're going to be able to do that for 5 days. It's paying out Black Ops Chapel shards, rare artifact choice token shards, which I'll talk to you about, some speed ups, and some refined transgen, uncommon, rare, and epic within this bundle. The other 4 bundles are at the other 3 bundles, because you've already got the one at tier 1, are at tier 5, 10, and then 15. I think there may be one at 18, so there could be 4 more, okay? But they are where they work. So every sort of 5 tiers, you're going to be getting another limited time claim. And it's 5 pulls at tier 1, and then 10 days worth of pulls at all of the other unlocks. As I said, the refined epic transigen refinery is here. You can see I've managed to get 604,000 with not a lot of work. I want to show you how I did that. So I'll be able to double pull this chest if I want to tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after, using a trick I'm going to show you in a second. You are also going to come in here. This is the transigen manipulator exchange. This is the hostile loot paying out the more refined epic transigen and the speed ups as well. And again in here, new things launched, loop efficiencies. Now these are just loop accelerants. These are not independent archives. They are not as good as the Xborg bundles for some of the older loops that were introduced a year or so ago. These are simply accelerants. And they allow you to take your epic refined transigen and come in here and speed up your loop. So for example, let's choose the relativity. I can come in here, I can spend 15 and I can get 400 of each type of capacitor just to give me an extra little nudge. To give you an idea, these are purely based on the tier of your ship, not the Serene Squall, the individual specialty ship. You can see if you look at the tags at the top of mine, you can see where all of my specialty ships are and how they progress. So once you're, and we've got this odd data all plugged into the chart already. If you go into the loop efficiencies, you can see where those break points are. So let's take that one that I was looking at, which is the relativity. Between tiers 1 and 5, you're going to be getting 385 of the ship parts for each, and you're going to be getting some of the research parts, 270 for each. Once you get to tier 6, you're going to be getting more of each, plus you're going to start getting some charged and static wreckage. And then once you get it to tier 11 plus, which is basically maxing out this bundle, more ship parts, more research materials, and a bigger chunk of the static and charged wreckage as well that you're going to be able to pull. So we've got all of those mapped in, and that's one use for the epic transigen, speeding up the progression of your specialty ships. Diving back in, going back into the refinery, we've got new bundles, we've got new artifact bundles. Now in here are some of the ones that you've seen sourcing for already, but also things that we have not seen sourcing for before. Things like Data's Mask, which is the ones giving cost efficiency for mirror dust, for example. From memory, I don't think this is sourced anywhere else other than this refinery, so we are getting more artifact sourcing. And artifacts are one of the key drivers of this ship, and that's going to lead into my closing comments later on when I tell you about whether I think you should buy the ship. So you can exchange your epic transigen for shards of individual artifacts that you want to be able to pull. There are also within here these choice tokens. Now, if you remember, I showed you those choice tokens, which are available in your strongbox as a chance. So this is the daily pull, the strongbox, and the strongbox is the one that you're going to be exchanging your epic refined transigen for getting ship parts for the Squall, research particles. We'll talk about the research in a second. Guaranteed sourcing of the transigen forge dust. I've managed to get 300 of this over the first month. I'm now going to be getting a daily guaranteed drip of this just by pulling my lockbox, which is nice. Some more refined transigen of the uncommon variety, some more Sigma speed-ups, normal speed-ups if you're sub G6, and again, a chance of these choice tokens for artifacts, which I'll show you in a second. That's nice. So let's go back to those choice tokens. So uncommon and rare. So I've got some rare tokens, and these are huge gobs of them for those particular artifacts. So if we go to the new mastery artifact, which is probably where I would tell people to go. So things like Spock's Ritual Gong, for example, giving you your apex barrier. One rare token is going to get you 50 shards of this. It's pretty substantial. Go back if you want to be able to do that for your apex barrier. You want to go into Storybook for isolytic defense. That's in there as well. And then you look at the ones that people are probably focusing on more. The isolytic damage, which is the one that I want to focus on. 50 shards of this for one choice token. I want to pull that 50 shards of the ancient Vulcan scroll, getting me even closer and closer to that tier up. And again, they're on a 22-hour cooldown. So don't necessarily hoard them. Once you get them, I would spend them so that you've got it. Not disappointed with that in the slightest. I'm really not disappointed with that element in the slightest. And artifact sourcing from this transigen loop has always been the key driver for it. Other things that have been added to this loop, within your Exocomps, we've got some great cost efficiency exos. Now, I'd like them to be bigger. Yes, of course I would. Don't upgrade a specialty ship until you've actually popped the exo for that relative ship. But there's been a couple of additional exos put in. I'm going to give a big shout out to a couple of these, and they're in this tab here. So you've got one in here for general research speed. It's at 800% research speed. It's pretty significant. 5 hours. If you're going on a research buff, especially if you're in G6 and Sigma speed-ups are causing a bit of a problem to you, an 800% buff before you start doing that research is going to save you millions in Latinum and your speed-ups and help you to preserve those. But the other one that's really important, and again, probably more important for G6, increased building speed exo. This for me at G6 is a 500% bonus. Now, this is lower for G5, G4, G3. However, 500% is absolutely massive. If you're pushing up an ops level, if you're going through an auction where you're going to be doing a few bits and pieces for your officer sourcing, for example, do not do buildings or big bulks of buildings without activating this, providing that you've got enough. Now, these are not cheap. These are costing 375 refined transigens. So if you're thinking, right, next in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be doing a big push on ops, don't spend any transigen on anything else for a while and get this benefit. That's an option to you. You choose. It's your path. It's your game. You choose the way that you want to go with it. So there are some nice things in this refinery. Some things that I really like about it. One thing that I am disappointed with is that there is no initial bundle for people without the ship, so they can't go out and pirate it if they want to get a little bit more to start building up some of the epic transigen. They can't do that, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen that in there. But apart from that, the refinery is pretty standard and pretty easy. Now, we talked about that within the tier 1 claims and within obviously the tier 5, tier 10, etc., you're getting guaranteed rare artifact choice tokens as well. So don't forget and don't neglect to be able to pull those. And remember, Black Ops Chapel is also part of the Strange New Worlds group. So if you can work on your Strange New Worlds group efficiencies to be able to make the costs cheaper, you're going to be able to unlock it quicker. This is a 50 shard officer. With my research, I'm already at 36 shards is all I need to be able to unlock her, which is really, really nice. Okay, let's take a quick look at the research, because as I said, within your strongbox, you are getting research particles, the black market schematics, and they contribute towards some researches. So if we take a quick look into the research tree, now these are in your starships tree. So if you go into research, go into starships, it is a very easy one. It's nice and simple, right at the front of the tree, because it's only an Ops 30 ship. You can see you've got a pretty standard node there for increasing warp range. This is gated by Ops level in terms of your generation, so you won't be able to max it out until you're in G6. In the top here, you've got specific damage bonuses for your Serene Squall. And the one to be pretty mindful of is this one here. This is the one that I talked about that will, when you activate your automated defenses, which I'll show you in a bit of gameplay in a second, this is the one that's going to increase your crit chance. These are based on tier. So all three of these have 18 levels. They all have 18 levels, and every single tier of the ship, you are going to be able to unlock one additional level for it. So it's going to be pretty slow progression as you progress through the ship, but you're going to be able to do it. So apex barrier, isolytic damage for the Squall, and then your crit chance as well, taking it up to a maximum of 88%. Now, the reason it's 88% is because without a prime, the standard crit chance for the ship is about 12%. Okay, so basically giving you a guaranteed always on crit ability. Down here, now this is the one that I'm least excited about, is the middle tree. You've got combat XP, so getting more ship XP when you're out grinding your hostiles. It's okay. Increased mining speed. Again, the bonuses are not massive. It caps out at 500% once you max it. And for senior players, it's not going to have a bigger impact. This is going to be quite big for lower end players. G3 players, G4 players will find some use to this, as they will with the FKR damage. A 2000% boost at max is going to be pretty significant for a G3, G4, potentially even an early G5 player. Officer presets, the chance here, I will take as many of these as I can. The ability to get an extra 5 officer presets from this using that research currency that I've shown you. Again, it's another great addition. Like to see some fleet presets in there. I think that would be really nice. At the bottom here, you've got the ability. Now remember that that ability that I showed you for the ship only works on epic transition. Okay, so the base node speed for common, uncommon, and rare is actually still quite slow. However, you can make that better with these researches. So for common, for example, you can get up to a 1.2 million% bonus for mining common with your Serene Squall. Okay, so it's going to be significant. You've then got one for uncommon, which is a lower bonus. It goes up to, is that 3 million? Too many zeros. You've got 3 million there. And then for the rare, you've got 4 million. You know what I mean? So you've got some big bonuses there to help try and turn your Serene Squall into an all-out transigen miner. And you've got to do that through these researches. These mining sweeps are like freebooters. So what these allow you to do is to complete your G3 to G6 faction mining goals once you unlock them by mining transigen. So mining transigen will replace the need for you to have to go out and mine gas, crystal and ore for your faction dailies. Now remember, you only get a small drip from your dailies of the raw material, so if you're still wanting to be able to fuel your refinery, you will still need to go out and mine those materials should you want to actually keep your refinery pulling on a twice a day basis, if that's something that's important to you. So that's the research. Now the research particles, they're quite slow to get, if I'm honest. Obviously I'm getting about 90 a day, so before I can even start getting my first research unlocked, it's going to take a couple of days to do it. So I would like to see some acceleration on the research particles as well. I think that would be nice. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go and do some actual grinding with the ship. I'm going to show you how it actually works. So we're going to go up into the epic transigen systems, and as I've mentioned before, these have got 5,000% hazards. If you're not sure how hazards work, I would urge you to check out my full loop explanation video that I did for the full transigen loop last month. I will link it at the end of the video, because in there's a segment that explains exactly how hazards work. However, with the Squall, it is irrelevant when you're in the Tempest hazard system. So all of the transigen systems use the same type of hazard, which is called the transigen Tempest, and providing that you've got the Serene Squall, you've got 5,000% resistance against it, and the maximum that you've got is that 5,000%. So it's always going to be immune to hazards once you've got that Serene Squall. So we're going to dive out to a system. Oh, there was one thing that I missed out on the research. Once you get the research up to once you get the ship to tier 5, there is an instant jump ability that I never mentioned on the notes. This one. Once you get to tier 5, you have got the ability to turn your Serene Squall into a discovery type ability. Now, it can't summon, I'll mention that, but it can instantly warp to the systems, which I think is nice. So you can be able to jump around the galaxy, get to where you want to be with it much quicker. I think that's a nice little addition, nice to have. And they seem to be adding a few more of those. Obviously, we had them for all of the other FKR ships previously. Now that I've come into this system, okay, we will see that a hostile will spawn for this system. Now, whenever you're coming into these systems, if you don't want to die, you have to activate your automated defenses. Now, this is a free claim. It costs you nothing, and you click on the ship and then you use this little button here to activate that big damage buff, that big shield repair, apex barrier, isolytic damage. To actually activate that, you've got to activate the ability. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go, and you also, for that automated defenses to work, you must be on a mining node. So just to demonstrate this, I'm going to hop on this node without the automated defenses active. It might kill me beforehand, so I just want to make sure I get on this node. So before you activate your automated defenses, when these ships are coming to attack you, even though I'm on a mining node, without it being there, I'm expecting this ship just to absolutely wipe me off the face of the earth, even though it's only a level 40 hostile. Absolutely wiped me off the face of the earth. That was because I didn't have my automated defenses active. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back. I'll be back in 1 second, and then I'll show you what the automated defenses do in terms of making a difference. Okay, we're back in, same system. Point I will note out here, you cannot activate your automated defenses whilst you are actively mining. So what you need to do is you need to be off the node. So we're going to hop off the node. We're going to activate our automated defenses. We then are going to need to jump back on a node in order for those abilities to actually work. And then we're going to wait for this hostile to hit us, and I will show you the difference in the battle. Bearing in mind here, I am at tier 1. Yeah, tier 1, level 5, very, very small ship. And I'll show you the difference between those two battle logs. We killed it. We smoked it. Look at my ship down here. Took no damage at all. Absolutely no damage. Look at a comparison. Without automated defenses, obliterated. We took out its shields and probably, 10% of its hull. With automated defenses, because of that huge damage boost, we wiped it out and it didn't even scratch us. Didn't even scratch us. And I've not even got an optimal crew on there for killing hostiles. That's just my G6 hostile killing crew. It's just a generic crew that's out there. Okay. So what this allows you to do, this allows you to do 2 grinds at the same time. So you can see I'm currently mining the transigen to be able to fuel that part of the refinery. And the hostiles are just going to sit and attack me whilst I do it. So whilst I'm being attacked, I'm gaining the new hostile material. So I'm gaining the transigen manipulators. Obviously I'm mining, so I'm gaining the raw transigen as well. So you're doing both loops within the same activity. You must have your automated defensive active. You saw that at tier 1 level 5, you can see I've got 58 minutes and 50 seconds left on my automated defenses. So it starts off at an hour. So basically you sit there, you park it, you leave it there for an hour, and you're grinding out both of the loops. Now, I wanted to talk to you about stretch goals, okay? Stretch goals, because those stretch goals are big for the mining, but I believe you can do it, providing that you've got either somebody in your team that can help you out, or if you've got a decent level discovery / eviscerator. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Gorn eviscerator. Now, the way that the hostile systems work, the way that hazards work, is that you've got basically 20 seconds within a system before the hazard will tick over and kill you. Now that 20 seconds does not start when you enter the system. So what you will find, and I'm just going to jump into a system with this eviscerator, and we're going to time how long it is before it kills me. Because technically the tick over, if you read the actual hazard system, it's every 20 seconds. But I'm jumping into the system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, dead. So it wasn't the full 20 seconds. It was 16 seconds. That's because that clock of when the tick overs happen is static. Okay, so no matter when you enter the system, you're going to enter at some point within that 20-second cycle, which means that you might arrive at the 19-second mark and die after 1 second. You might arrive at the 1 second mark and last for full 19 seconds before the next tick over happens. So actually being in the system is not a guaranteed period of time. So that's why people are finding that they're able to survive in the system for different periods of time. But what we're going to do is we're going to send our Gorn eviscerator to the highest system that I can possibly get to. Okay, highest system that I can possibly get to. I'm just going to quickly go and recrew, and then I can crew after. I'm going to quickly go and recrew, and then I can explain that crew afterwards. So this is the crew I'm going to run. When I'm going to come out and do this trick to be able to look at double grinding from the mining side. Full cargo. Absolute full cargo crew. I want the biggest cargo capacity that I can physically get. Now, I could potentially make this better by putting Mavery in there, but he's currently away on a priority 1 away team assignment. So I would probably swap 2 of 11 for Mavery if I was able to do that. I've got data below deck. If I had another below deck slot, I would probably throw Strange New Worlds like Arn down there as well to increase it still further. Okay, but this is the crew I'm going to run, and what that's going to do is that's going to give me a cargo capacity, and we can explain this while we're here as well, of 718,000. 718,000. Remember I showed you that my daily drip was only 500,000 for a double pull and 85,000 if I wanted to do a single pull currently. Okay, and my protected cargo look is over half of that, over 50%. But we're not caring about protected cargo at the moment. Because like I've said, people can't survive very long in the system to be able to pirate me. And if somebody can manipulate it to be able to do it, fair play to them. But I'm still going to walk away with at least 409,000 by using this trick. Now, one upgrade of the cargo component, which I think should be the first one for everybody to do, takes that capacity up to 1.15 million. And 550,000 unprotected cargo. This should be the first component that anybody should do, in my opinion, okay, because you're going to be able to use this trick. So what you do is you go up into the Epic system and you go as high as you physically can. If you remember from the charts, the reason that we want to go as high as we can is because we want to get the best base mining node speed that we can. So if I can get to, I think I can get to a 664 system, I can get to 11. I think I can get to 11. So let's take a look at the 64 system and see if my eviscerator can reach. I can get to the 66 system. Yeah, so the 66 system is the highest that I can get to. So I'm currently getting a base node speed of 12. Okay, which when you think about that by comparison to what we was mining in the 40 system, where my can natively reach is 3. So I'm going to be mining at about 4x the speed just because of that base node speed increase. Then what you do, now I may fall lucky here, but I'm going to try and show you. So I'm going to do, I'm going to set course, I'm going to jump in. As soon as I'm in with my eviscerator, I'm going to open a rip. Right, we are in. I'm going to rip the system. Perfect, we've ripped the system. What that's allowed us to do now is my eviscerator is dead, that's died, we knew that was going to happen. But now with my eviscerator, I can just send this across. It's going to take it 5 seconds, it's going to beam into the system. I know I've got full hazard resistance against it, but I've now got my tier 1 level 5 into a level 66 system. Now, even with automated defenses, because I'm only tier 1 level 5, I don't have the punching power to be able to kill the hostiles, which means that I need to freeze the hostile in this scenario. So what I'm not doing by using this trick is I'm not utilizing the ability to dual grind both loops. Okay, so I'm still going to have to go down lower to go out and auto grind the hostiles. So I need to freeze my hostile. So I'm going to do that now with this. Now remember, you've got the instant recall, so you've got to stop. Even though it says instant recall, you can still use the Picard maneuver to be able to freeze a hostile. So we're going to wait for it to freeze. And then we're going to go and we're going to sit on one of these nodes and I can fill my cargo. So the full 718,000. I'm mining at 278,000 an hour. 278,000 an hour. It's going to take me 2 hours and 34 minutes. Fill that cargo. You think 1.17 million, that's 2 double pulls. And then I can just go off and go about my day. Now, you don't have to use the eviscerator if it can't reach, if you've got better range on your discovery, for example. You send your discovery in, and then you drag your Serene Squall into the highest system that you can reach, and you just sit on the node for longer. It makes it a lot more passive. You don't have to think about it. Automated defenses, no point, because I've frozen my hostile. No point in doing it. So a little trick there to try and help people try and be able to double pull the mining element of their Serene Squall loop. Okay, final thoughts on this. So let's talk about this. This ship is designed for artifact sourcing. I think the decision on whether you should be buying this ship in month 1 is all dependent on how developed you are with artifacts. Leave your comments down below if you disagree with this. If your artifacts are well developed, you're happy with the state of where they are, and you don't want to pay to have to speed that up even more, I would suggest just going through the standard grind for this ship. It's going to take you less than 100 days providing that you engage. Okay? Less than 100 days providing that you engage with the features and events and things that are coming. If you are really lacking on your artifact sourcing and your artifact progression, and you want to accelerate that massively, if you want to benefit from the accelerants, I'm not saying skips, it's nothing not independent archive, you want to benefit from the loop accelerants within the bundles that speed up your specialty ships, it could be an idea for you. It could be something to go for. If you're prepared to wait for that for 100 days, it'll be less than 100 days, but I'm saying 100 days absolute maximum. If you just do the standard uncommon refined transigen pull into blueprints, 100 days maximum, then do that. I think that you buy this if you want to accelerate that loop, or you wait, because I think artifacts are the key thing behind this loop, and they are my final thoughts on this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you've got some ideas on where you go with it. I will also show you what the hostile crew is that I would use on this if I was sending it out and doing standard hostile. So if I was going out and I was mining in the lower systems and actually killing the hostiles, the crew that I use is the same one that I used for my Reliant. This is the crew that I use. Obviously, depending on what you've got below deck slots, bear in mind I've only got one at the moment, I would probably throw something like Bolana Torres in that first slot as my starting, but as I unlock more slots, I'm going to work towards getting this crew for my Serene Squall as I unlock different slots. That's the crew that I use. Strange New Worlds Pike as captain with Section 31 GG and Strange New Worlds Pellier on the other side. It's brilliant. It works really, really well. And if you find any other crews, again, drop them down below. People who are G3, G4, let me know what crews you're using. Because obviously I'm saying this from a G6 perspective with a tier 1 ship. So let me know how you're going with it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you found this useful. Let me know whether you're going to be buying the ship, what your thoughts are. And apart from that, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember that absolutely everything is better with lube. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.